people on the tantric path, people who are delving into their own inner world and understanding how to create a powerful technology of the internal world so that they can navigate that space. I am Uncle Makara, tapping in once again with another video. Today I'm talking about one of my favorite beings of all time. His name is Sanat Kumara. As you notice, there's a peacock feather. And Ryan G is just calling me, okay? That's what that was, okay? Can you guys still hear me? Okay, cool. So, peacock feather in the background representing Sanat Kumara. There might be sounds in the background because I do live in India. You gotta just move along with it, ignore it, tune it out, okay? And listen to the message that you receive here today. This is really about Buddhism embodied, okay? Because the teachings of Sanat are really there to teach us to know thyself. And isn't that what every master has been saying for eons and decades and millennia? Right? To know thyself, that's how Krishna came into being. That's how Christ came into being, right? It's that same energy. So I almost see this like a lattice or an energy grid rather than an actual person. I don't think this is a person to be worshipped. I think this is a force field of energy that is woven through our souls that we can start to understand more of. Now, shout out to many other practitioners, mentor Raja Chaudhary made a video today from Sedona, and I know that Sedona is one of the retreats of this ascended master along with Lady Venus. Okay, so if you're listening from Arizona and you resonate with this message, you already know, because you're gonna tap into this thing on a whole different level, man. Okay, whole different level. And understand that this energy, so I pulled this card yesterday, all right? Lady Venus, downloads and understanding, truth is being revealed, deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm, okay? Now, what's really, really interesting is why this message that's of unconditional love. Because it is only through unconditional love that we can melt away our lower states of consciousness, primarily shame, which holds all other negative emotions in place. Okay? So that's the first stage of understanding. Then we understand love, or Venus in this case, or Shukra in Sanskrit, in the ancient text, is the union of opposites, correct? Which reveals the light body, or the Kumara body, from Shiva Shakti. So this creates a state of mind, which the tantrics, which the yogis love, called Sat Chitananda. It's this ecstatic joy that comes from being fully realized, okay? And if you ever heard of the art of seduction, even the history method, or any of this kind of stuff, they used to call it the Venusian arts, okay? It's the art, you have the art of war, martial arts, but Venusian is the art of love, okay? And it's not like a superficial love, like Hallmark, Disney, Bollywood, Hollywood, you know? Not that kind of love. It's universal divine love, okay? It's a love which unites, which merges. To love something is to love it as thyself. And there's a lot of talk in this around a place called Shambala. You might have heard of this term before. Some people, well, it came from Shantashpur originally, and we know it maybe as Shangri-La. So like a heavenly abode, right? It might even be the source of Valhalla, actually, the city from which Odin rules. So it has that similar like intonation to it, right? So you need like an etheric to be able to go to Shambhala. And I've gone here and visited it multiple times through dreams, through meditation, through random epiphanies. I was actually at a spiritual retreat that my father hosted in Shantiniketan, which means peace abode, okay? And when I was there, I saw this old man, right, walking. He had like white hair, like pure, like bright white hair. It was like, it hit your face like a disco ball type of white hair. It wasn't like normal white hair. And I saw him walking with so much energy and vigor. Like he was faster than me. I was like, this guy's got to be like 84 or something, like, and he's like whisking past me. And then I muscle tested and I was like, whoa, this guy is connected to this eternal youth, this Sanat Kumara energy, you know? And really, that's such a powerful understanding, because he's really here to teach mindfulness, guys, in a very unique way. Okay, so in metaphysics, you can call it the planetary logos. Okay, I also believe in the Bible, he's referred to as the ace. We'll get into that. There's also a lot of deception against it, because Sanat sounds like Satan rearranged or whatever. And so a lot of the people who want to go against the New Age communities and stuff like that, or they try to kind of, you know, distort the, which a lot of people do, and I'll discuss that as well. I think that it's important for us to discuss these things, okay? So I'm basically connected with his higher self, Vaiwamus. That's when I first got these downloads or insights, almost like many hawks outside my window right now. You can bring heavenly happiness to earth if you know how to be with full intent at action. So if you really understand and know the full intent of this, then you can be present and enjoy a selection of whatever you do, right? Let's say you're putting on your clothes, or you're just brushing your teeth in the morning, or you're giving a lecture, or whatever you are doing, you're tapped into that intent, right? And so even like putting on an ornament can be a very sacred experience. What religion am I speaking about? It's not really any religion, Maximus. It's more so connected through all of them. So this forms from Hinduism, the teachings that it's from Brahma's mind that the 4 Kumaras were born. And that's kind of more of the mythical, logical storyline aspect of this thing. So, you know, Tantra says the reason we have karma is because we've forgotten who we are, right? We've forgotten our truth, our divinity. And the stories we speak, right? Our karma is actually what, guys? The actions and their consequences, right? And so if you have limiting beliefs, of course, you're going to create limiting circumstances, correct? So I'm an omnist, brother. So the stories you speak, okay, create your karma, okay? So beware of what you are writing as your storyline. Maybe it's also written for a certain level. There's fate, destiny, and so forth, and co-creating, actively co-creating with the divine. But then there's also you using your intelligence, your will, and living on design, like designing your life, like a designer would, or an artist would. So it's both of them coming into this presence that we start to understand this. And if you're familiar with the Bhagavad Gita, you get the very first understanding of the Shraddha, right? So the very first arrow that Arjuna released, eye of the bird. He was not there to hit the bird's, you know, wings, or, you know, he was there to aim for that eye. That was Arjuna's energy, right? Is supreme. It's not a religion, but a way of life. I'm going to get to that, bro. Called Sanat and Dharma, right? Sanat Kumara, again. The same word, right? This is why he's the solar logos. He's the king of the world, okay? And I have a theory about that too. I think because eternal youth is also T, right? And so, have you ever seen like kids like imagine and went to their imagination so much that they're like, I'm the king of the world, right? That's that energy, I feel. Like that's just a theory for right now, but let's explore it, know what I mean? So anyway, the Shraddha, right? This focused attention, this dharana, this single-pointedness, right, of consciousness, not this scattered, you know, thing. And we've been getting a lot of energy from the dog energy, okay? So you got that dog in you, right? The dog is an understanding of being alert, because dogs are always alert, if you notice, right? Even when they're resting, they're alert, you know? I'm a Muslim, but can't deny the fact that Hinduism was there when every other religion was not even born. That's correct, man. And there's a lot of deep insights there. You know what I mean? And it overlaps, of course. You might have heard of the Yazidis who call it the peacock angel. Like everyone has their own versions of this, right, guys? So Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, Akura in this is Padmasambhava, this Guru Rinpoche, also known as the second Buddha, teaches a very interesting form of Tantra from Vajrayana traditions. So yeah, very interesting stuff. So you know how Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says, Shraddhavan Janam means knowledge is gained by a person with the mind of alertness. Okay? The mind of being totally wired in. Okay? And I'm going through my notes here, that's why I'm looking here. Alright? Otherwise I'd on you guys, okay? Now Patanjali also speaks of this state as asana. He actually thinks that asana is a state of mind. You might hear asana and think, oh, isn't that like a yoga posture? Isn't that like me doing a backwards bend or something? So that asana is just a state of mind, right? Which is stable, which is comfortable. And while you're at action, you're meticulous. While you're at rest, you're alert. And when you're at sleep, so that's the energy, okay? I don't swing that way, Eddie, thank you though. Ancient of Days, right? That's what they called him in the Bible. So in the Bible, Daniel 7:9, okay? Let me quote this. As I looked, thrones were Ancient of Days took his seat. His clothing was white as snow, and the hair on his head was pure wool. His throne was fiery flames, its wheels were burning fire. Okay? Daniel 7:13, I saw in the night visions and with the clouds of heaven, there came one like a son of man. He came to the Ancient of Days and he was presented before him. Okay? Yeah, sure, brother. But I also am a big fan of Varuna and that path working and the Adityas and Asura beings, and you know that kind of understanding is so to me too. So the Indian Poseidon, essentially, right? Aquaman. let's just say, okay? But yes, okay, let's go. So, until the Ancients of Days come, judgment was given for the saints of the Most High, and the time came when the saints possessed the kingdom, okay? So think of your desire, appropriate application, causing your fall or your descent, and desire being divine and in its appropriate activation and application causes a rise. Right? And this desire is not a longing. You're not longing for Krishna or Allah or, Christ. You're not longing for him. You are understand that oneness is available to you. That same level of consciousness available to you. This is no secret, right? It's gradually being known. Religions speak of killing the desire, but that's not desirable either, because you want to kill your desire is still a desire. You're still in the paradox. You get what I mean? So Sanat Kumara dissolves undesirable desire patterns when you get that? So, whoa, my door just opened. That's trippy. Who is this? Is this one of my deities, man? Hold on. That's trippy. This is who? Oh, it's Shiva. Okay. He thought he was being called. Okay, anyway. Visualize that you're entering into Shambala. Okay? I already told you, brother, this is the Lotus-born master, just Guru Rinpoche or Padmasambhava. You can type in Padmasambhava into Google. You can find a lot of information on him. Listen to his mantra. It just gets rid of demonic energies, lower entities, spirit, evil spirits instantly. And this is why I also send his energy to heal some of our adepts and so forth. He looks like Lord Vishnu. Yeah, cool, man. So, visualize like you're entering Shambhala, northern Himalayan region, right? And you're in the portal of the ashram. And another portal is, of course, in Sedona, Arizona, like I mentioned. But instead of saying, I have to, which is, again, it's like a pull from society. I have to do it because my parents told me so. I have to do it, told me so. I have to do it because my school told me so. I have to do it. No. What if you change it to, I like to do it? I choose to do it, right? By the restructuring of the thought, there's this attitudinal change that happens. I have to wash the dishes. What about I like to wash the dishes? Ooh. Different kind of energy, man. You get what I'm saying? So, Sanat Kumara's energy teaches us to function as a soul, not as a personality. He doesn't care how we're looking, how we're, shaping our brows, how we're wearing makeup, how we're, doing our hair. He doesn't care. He teaches us to function as a soul, to remember that we are beings, we are not becomings. Okay? This is Carnelian, brother. I have a lot of malas like this. It just helps me tune in. It's almost like a self-soothing thing I use to count the mala beads. So, yeah. It's just kind of like a reminder that I'm a spiritual being first and not a human first, right? I'm a spirit first and then a human, right? That's just the reminder of that. That's why I wear it, and that's why I celebrate in that, okay? I did some 23andMe DNA, and it revealed to me I'm Brahmin from northern India. Wow. Himalayas, 3% Tibet. I'm not surprised, brother. Also, it led directly to Kedarnath in Uttarakhand. Oh, wow. Where your DNA is concentrated. Damn. Epic, Tetsuo. Or Iraj, right? So, becoming is permanent. Becoming is temporary, because you go through so many ego deaths, let's be honest, but being is permanent. So I am is the only traveler in this thing, right? There's no baggage on Kundalini Airlines. Okay? Less luggage, the more comfort, okay? The less you're carrying within you, okay? Dave Boone. Yep. So I am is but a projection of that one consciousness which permeates all. Okay? It's the universal consciousness that projects as an individual consciousness. Okay? Ana and Nara. Okay? So it's like just like the ocean portraying wave. Okay? So in Sanskrit we use that term that I am, or soham. Okay? Soham is like that I am. Soham, right? So wave is but a concept of, and it's a momentary projection by the ocean consciousness. You know what I mean? So the wave builds its foam through unity and consciousness. So it's in the foam, there's hardly any substance. I mean, the substance of the wave is the ocean, but the substance of the foam is illusory. So the wave is the I am, and the other identities that form out of the present I am suffers from like the foam. Okay? So how do you meditate? Between two thoughts, that silence, that no mind, this is what Sanat teaches is true meditation. So such intervals of the mind, right? The pauses of the inhalation, between inhalation and exhalation, they're great-grandfather was also Brahmin. Okay, cool. Thanks, Atif. Forcefully converted, and where do you like, Mr. Monk? What does that mean? Such intervals or pauses, right? So the inhalation, exhalation, night and day, you can look at it as two polarities. Between that, between sleep and awakening, wakefulness and sleep, right? It's that Turiya. So when you look at the letters of Om, A-U-M, okay? You understand that you're being born again every time you chant. Do you guys get that? So, creation. Ooh, life. Death. Okay? So, Aum, all together, is birth, life, death. Birth, life, death. Birth, life, death. Birth, life, death. It's an ego death, right, that you're experiencing. And if you even hold that Om at the top of and then you hold it in silence, and you put your tongue on the roof of the palate and you look up with your eyes, you can actually experience what you'd call Turiya. And some people, you know, they do this through DMT, and so can also access this through your own breath. And I think that's so powerful, right, to understand that. I'm going to get to that, brother. So the silence is called Turiya, okay? Between wake, it's the fourth state of consciousness, right? Dream, sleeping, waking. Then it's the fourth state, okay? And that fourth state is what I'm interested in, man. That's that. Some people have converted it and understood it almost like an ultra flow state of sorts. Okay, let's not seek these superpowers. They're actually byproducts of us just crushing it in our own spiritual path in life, right? You shouldn't go out of your way to seek them, because if you do, let's say, for example, let's say that you can levitate off or whatever, and you become this like sensation of your town, you're seen like a diviner, like, you know, as a person who's like a false prophet, he's faking it, right? You get all of these projections onto you that your soul ego pumps it up, and you lose that Turiya. You guys get that? Give me a thumbs up if you guys get that, right? So the goal of this stuff isn't to seek that stuff. That's going to happen as a byproduct of you showing up, okay, and doing nothing, technically, okay? Now, I'm not saying don't do anything, but I'm saying by doing nothing, by just sitting there, oming, you can access the divine. You can also tap into the Swadhisthana teachings of the touching each petal chakra, right? Which is what causes a sexual awakening. Not like in, or you have sex with lots of people. That's not what I'm saying, but the sexual energy within the body, okay? So that's one of the keys to unlock, or opportunity for it, okay? Now, what we also understand, this Lady Venus energy, okay, is almost like the Eros energy as I've understood it. And the Sanat Kumara energy is the solar energy, right? Solar as we understand it. So we've got to understand the ideas of tolerance and patience are really important. Even Moses, right, in the first 10 commandments, patience, tolerance, forbearance, right? That's the qualities that you need to create depth, personality. You guys get that? So the quality of patience is needed in life because it's a survival value. Imagine you have patience. What does it show the other people in your life? That you survive, that you can make it in this hologram, right? That quality is so needed, man, especially in this day and age. Everybody's so impatient. Give me the mantra, give me the tool, give me the technique. Just sit with it, okay? Yes, there are ways to do proper postures and all of these things, but don't get caught up in the nuances of this. Enjoy yourself. Find the deep present joy, the innovation with which a child just sees a temple and becomes enamored, in awe, in divine ecstasy and rapture. With that, start seeing, have you ever done a breath work and then you start seeing sacred geometry, right, out of the blue? And you're not too sure why, but it's there, okay? Now, he's said to be on this peacock throne in Shambala and a gem in Raiden, and he's known as the Yazidis, as the peacock angel, and Kundalini again expands itself, slowly becoming the universe. So the universe itself is spiraling in forms of billions of these peacock eyes, right? That form of the cosmos in a sense. That's why when you have a very lucid or very mystical experience, you might see lots of eyes watching you, right? You might see thousands and thousands of eyes. So, hey there. Also, he might be also called Murugan, I believe. And Tamils call him Murugan, or Skanda, who's like a colored red, and riding the peacock, right? Tibetans show him as Amitabha Buddha, right? So, he's also colored red, riding the peacock, okay? So this kind of worship was thousands and thousands of years old, right, in the Far East. And the Tibetans started, and they actually got Bon religion, with shamanism, from these particular teachings, okay? And over time, the blending of these different spiritual traditions led to a syncretism, or a merging, where all of these figures, of like Sanat Kumara, were revered in the New Age, especially like the theatrical societies. I'm not a huge Blavatsky fan, guys, okay? But they might be mistakenly associated with Lucifer or Satan, right? Due to very super similarities. Because think about it. Both are light bearers of wisdom, right? That's number one. The archetypical similarities can lead to a lot of confusion here. So I want you to really listen to this and take this with a grain of salt, okay? Really look into and read the disclaimer also, right? These archetypical similarities can cause a merging of identities in the mind of those people who are interpreting or even misinterpreting some of these stories, okay? I want to speak about Venus rules the element of air, which is technically the breath of life, right? It's the spirit and the element of sound, and sound is what? Sound Shakti, right? Om Namah Shivaya, brother. And I believe the Tamils call him Murugan. I'm not very certain on that, but Muruga, or he has a very particular wording. I'm not too familiar with that, but if there are any Tamil people in the audience, okay, maybe you can let us know in the comments, okay? Sanat Kumara means the eternal light body, okay? The eternal light body means the masculine and feminine chakras, right? The nadis in Heroes, Gamos, God and Goddess, okay? And there's a false notion about Sanat that there are no Eastern traditions of him being a fallen angel, okay? Just because Sanat sounds like Satan does not make this the truth. Even Sanatan Dogma can be maybe demonized in this way, right? Because it has the word Sanatan in it. And Westerners look at that word and they get freaked out, right? So, and of course, like mourning stories associated with, right? So some may consider this a low attempt to normalize Satan worship in the New Age communities. But I'm saying that's not the case, because this stuff is so divisive, man. You get that? That's so divisive to create a destructive and negative level of consciousness when there's many delusions in spirituality. They make this wonderful healing being into an evil being. I really believe it's like an attack on spirituality itself, okay? My friend sent me a message actually the other day. He was like, be careful. I was doing my Shiva Japa and my practices, and I noticed a spiritual attack. Be careful, right? There's a lot of strange energies on the planet right now. So we have to be careful, and we have to be able to what? Discern. That's the solar logos energy. The quality to discern the negative delusion, the nonsense from the sense. We have to make sense. That's why the divine masculine is here, okay? The divine feminine is what? The divine feminine is here to help us relate to each other, to connect to each other, okay? Women are so good at socializing, man. You know, us guys, we get, we have to talk to that guy? Okay, whatever, right? Women, you'll plan it out, you'll set up a dinner date with your girlies, you'll like fucking, you know, create like 1,000 different Instagram posts. You will create that divine Shakti. That is your true nature, to connect, to relate, to understand, to nurture the divine mother, correct? Ramana Maharshi was the most awake master in recent time. Ramakrishna Vivekananda. Yeah, brother. Very, very powerful energy. I mean, if you really tap into his energy, you get it, right? Because he taught Vivekananda, right? So, Sanat Kumara resides on the most sublime center of our planet, right? The Sahasrara, or the crown chakra of the world, which is Shambala, okay? So he is called Sanatana, the cosmic plane. He's called Subramanya, the solar plane. And Kumara is the Sanaka, right? Or the planetary plane. It's also called Sanandana, which is the planet of Kumara, okay? So there's a lot of overlaps here, and scriptures, especially the Mahabharata, say that he can help come down to earth to help the divine plan of creation. You know, when Lord Krishna came, he was born to Lord Krishna as a son, and he was named Pradyumna, I believe. Now, it could be very off on this information, but this is the download I'm getting, is that he incarnated himself through the divine mother, Rukmini, as Pradyumna. So, completion of his work, he gets back to the original seat in Shambala as Sanat Kumara. Now, isn't it interesting how the Enochians also call this the city of Enoch, right? Which is Metatron, if you really look at that. Now, Metatron has also been outed as being a fallen angel type of archetype, correct? So there's a lot of overlap trying to control this thing. But to me, the world means to observe it. Just like if I control my mind, right, upper chakras, my heart, my middle of my chakras, and my lower energy centers, right, genital region or pelvic region, I just observe them and to activate. If I try to control them, if I try to tame them, if I try to put them in a box or a cage, they won't be able to express themselves properly, okay? So, these are very powerful understandings, and we at Primal Sutra, we're like the gray Jedis, you get that? Okay? The Jedis in their quest for purity, and they overlook the power of anger tempered by compassion. Only the corruption. The Sith, however, they get lost and they mistaken their sickness for strength. So why not be in the flow state mage, the Jedi, acknowledging the darkness without bowing down to it, right? Knowing that fear and anger are not foes, but if mastered, you could see the light not as a blinding purity, but as a gar, avoiding reckless self-sacrifice, okay? So I wrote this actually the other day. I'm going to post it on Instagram, this little section. But really understand that this is not about worship. It's about recognizing your true divinity. okay? It's about acceptance, honor, okay? It's perhaps even, okay? It's about coming back to that sacred balance or harmony. Harmony over balance, because balance still requires some like a compromise type of thing, right? I have to sacrifice this to get this, and then if I don't get that, then harmony is just like the universe, one song, one melody. You're the conductor of the orchestra, the philharmonic. These elements of your life are there and they keep playing in the background of this thing, okay? So that's how we can tap into this stuff, guys. And the integration actually elevates us. We are Jedi with purple lightsabers. Red plus blue equals purple. Right, right. Like, didn't Mace Windu have that, right? Who had the... I think the gray Jedis honestly need to play a better role in Star Wars, right? They don't talk about it much, but they understand that that's a true understanding of a neutral fight. It's not Sith or Jedi. Like, you know, it's not the dogma of the Jedi, and it's not the, you know, wild power seeking of the Sith. It's like, it's not selflessness, and it's not completely selfishness. You guys get that? It's the in-between. It's where ambition and service emerge, right? And form and a connectivity. Okay? This is a Ganesha mudra, right? But irregardless. Are we nearing the end of Kali Yuga? That's really difficult to say, bro. Because honestly, so many people believe that it's in different times. And are you taking really Brahma times, right? It's like, if you take the concept of time that they had in the Puranas and like the Vedas and the ancient scriptures, it's like, they're all different, all overlap. So it's like, which perspective are you going to take to look at where is the Kali Yuga? Okay? It's like, which perspective are you taking to understand it, right? It's like, is Christ going to come back? Is there going to be judgment day? It's like, we've talked about that for centuries. You know what I mean? Oh man, difficult to tell, brother. I would have to, I'm not in that. My expertise is in flow state. So I love looking at the altered states of mind aspect of all of these teachings, right? My expertise is not in the Vedas, not in Sanskrit scripture, none of that, okay? I just love learning about that because I love my own culture as I've come back here, right? And so the true wisdom lies from the merging of these two polarities, right? The understanding of the integration of a balanced, harmonious human being. Not so alpha that he's cold and so calculated that he cuts off everybody from his world and doesn't connect with anybody, right? That cold monster. And he's not so soft, gentleman, right? He's not so soft either that he goes floating away, right? Okay? So I actually wrote some notes down from this video I watched, The Rise of the Indians by Guru Pashupati. You guys should check that video out, man. This was part 2. He was talking about how men's energy is like a pillar, right? Hers is like a dome, or maybe even just the doors or portals of the temple. And it's very interesting because temples are a system, right? So if you consider your body as a temple, you'll start to understand that you are a man who's probably lost his unwavering, unapologetically me energy. Okay? So, you know, if you're appeasing people or seeking approval, you know, you try to becoming the feminine change of the chaos, you know, instead of what? Like seeing the chaos and laughing at it, almost, in a sense. Like knowing the play of it, right? This back and forth of this dynamic causes the sexual tension. That's what's key here, guys, right? She wants to challenge and test the man to see, does this man just talk? I'm going to push his buttons until he reacts, and then I can see him for his true self. She tried to carve something into your masculine pillar. And she started going, oh, my tools got blunted. Yeah, that man right there, right? That's what she's testing for. So it's like, she's trying to carve something, and you're like Goggins mode. Like, say hard, right? So she can what? Depend on it. So she can lean on the pillar. You guys get this? Very powerful. I used to visit Pashupatinath in Nepal when young. You must go there, brother. Maybe when I'm in Nepal, you're free to come too. Awesome, man. Yeah, I'll probably be there, man. I'll probably be in Nepal at some point. And We are, Bungle, we are considered gods in training. Okay, we're not really gods in a sense, but I truly believe that we will be very next to the gods, let's just say. We're not God, we're not source, you get what I mean? But this is, yeah, a Deva arc instead of a villain arc. Let's go with that, right? Everybody's like, I'm on my villain arc, right? No, I'm not. I'm one of the good ones. I want to see myself and others thrive in my communities. I've been into the darkness and I'm a master alchemist because of it, right? The Akashic record holders called me Demon Slayer. They called me Master Alchemist. They gave me that nickname, you know. And so, yeah, I'm here to just work with these lower energies. I think that's why I had depression and anxiety when I was younger. So I could reach that catabasis catharsis, dark night of the soul, heart chakra, and be able to teach this stuff, you know? It's like you got to go through hell to get to heaven, in a sense. Hey there, Nick. Hi. So, but again, man, you shouldn't be seeking my approval. You know what I mean? So what if I don't say hi to you? Are you gonna like, oh no, okay. Don't worry about it, bro. Chill. All right. Big Vajra energy. It's not big D energy. No, that's not what I'm saying. Big Vajra energy. There's a feeling to it. Okay? There's a feeling, there's an energy to it. Daddy's home. There's an energy to it. Okay? And you got to tap into that energy. A lot of the times we've lost that. We've stopped being spiritual catalysts, but spiritual absorbers. Right? Emotional contagion, which is the dark side of empathy. Truly being in your heart space, opening up, healing thyself and healing the planet. Okay? If you heal thyself, the bullets drop, guys. Okay? Can you give a quick rundown of your understanding of the Bhagavad Gita for a complete layman? You know what? I almost see it as a way towards not getting so attached to the material world. Like, I think the Gita is honestly, the way I break it down through at least flow state and my understanding of that is, listen, man, your task, your dharma, right? You're here with this very specific mission in this lifetime, and you got to understand, always come back to your I am presence, brother, right? This is the main teaching of this live video too. It's like, you can say I'm like this or like that. I do things very uniquely, and I'm a lawyer, and I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm a this, and I'm a that. Those are all labels. You're the I am. And so is that dog. So is that living thing. The same energy. I am here. I'm in this consciousness, right? And I think the Gita really teaches you how to go through adversity, hardship. It's like, this guy had to fight a war, but he was a warrior, right? There's a part of him that doesn't want this bloodshed. Why do I have to fight against my own friends? You know? It's like, it's your destiny. Don't get so attached to it. You're not that, Arjuna. You're greater than that. Gain that shraddha, or that focus, that alertness again. Get that dog in you. Ow, ow. You get that? That's an aggressive version of the Gita, bro. I don't know, bro. This is like Primal Sutra version, but you got me a thumbs up if that resonated. Most powerful book in the world. It's the nectar of the Upanishads. Impossible to break down layman term. Yep. Yeah. Imagine extracting sugar out of honey itself. Yeah, bro. That's a great example, right? Yeah. All right. Cool. So, can you depend on thyself? Okay, as listening, can you be the pillar? Can you be the stoic warrior monk that remains in that pure awareness, that pure consciousness? At the same time, understanding the Shakti. This is why we naturally ground. Okay? I'm in the presence of a gorgeous woman, and my hand is shaking, or I'm like abrupt, or I'm like leaning to one side, or I'm like trying to appease her or something. I'll notice those things, right? I'll notice those tendencies and come back to the truth again. Okay? So this is like really part of seduction, is the teachings of the Lady Venus and Sanat Kumara, right? The real Venusian arts, okay? That come from this understood divine love, the non-superficial love, the inner beauty, right? It sounds poetic, sounds kind of cringe at times. You gotta accept that. You know what I mean? It's 222 right now, so it's divine feminine healing. Okay? For me, at least. I'm in India, depending on your time zone right now. You're probably at a different time listening or tuning in. But truly, truly, such an empowering energy that I've tapped into this energy. And I feel like I'm almost like an emissary of Sanat, right? You know? Because I've got too many downloads and confirmations on this path. That have shown me these wisdom teachings, great white brotherhood teachings, and, you know, all of these. And I've been scared, bro. I've honestly been scared to talk about this on this channel, you know? I've been terrified of the judgment of the people, you know? What will people think? What will my family think of these videos? Because we want acceptance and love at the end of the day, right? But I've got to speak my truth now, and I'm leading into that. Hopefully, this inspires you to speak your truth. To really lean into the weird spiritual stuff you've been reading, and actually, not just hear about it and kind of like dabble a little bit, like an armchair mystic, but really go into it, you know, and love it at the end of the day. It's all energy, bro. Yeah, seen and felt it. Don't spam, brother. Okay? It ain't cringe. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. It really is like once you have that divine intuition, right? Everything clicks. It starts to make sense. I'll notice when I have the Holy Spirit within me, bro, like a lot of people around me will squirm. They'll squirm in their seats. They'll be like, sit still. There's too much divinity. Oh, fuck. But that's the demons inside, boiling, broiling, wanting your attention, moving your heart space, you know, creating weird pockets of tension and anxiety, right? It's the Tulu energy, the subconscious anxiety of our planet, right? Instead of what? Uncle Makara, baby. The greatest sea monster. Fuck the Leviathan. Fuck those other sea monster energies. I'm the Makara. We're here for the of truth. I am the gatekeeper, and you heard it here first. Let's go. Let's go. Okay? May we never be the same again. I've seen it with other people around me that this happens, so other people when they're around me, bro, just like you showed. That's what it is. Okay? Too much light that pierces through their, and it hurts, right? You know, Tetsuo, maybe you've been working with demonic energies too. I believe so, right? I don't want to say the name because I'm going to call the being, but you get what I mean, right? And then once that thing is really just like, right? It's like, wow. Clarity, strength, neutrality, right? Back to wholeness, back to harmony again, right? Divine from my mentor AZD, right? He knows my heart. He knows my mind. That's it. Okay? I did the Mantak Chia technique too much, and this is what happened. Oh, dang. You mean the microcosmic orbit? Or nice energy from you, bro. Thank you. Thank you, man. It's the Deva arc energy. Vasudeva Kutumbakam, one world, one family. Let's get it, brothers and sisters and loved ones and aunties and uncles. We are all one family, okay? Spiritual family. And we're here to rise. All right, we're here to rise. But we're not here to rise and drop. That's most spirits. Raise your vibes, raise your vibes, raise your... Crash, right? We're the infinite sine wave. We're surfing this thing. We're not going too high, we're not going too low. The palace of excess, the road to excess leads to the palace of wisdom. Okay? Know your limits, your moderation. Be tolerant, be patient, and remember your divinity. Memento futurum, from one of my guides, Janus, who first taught me that saying, which means remember your future. And if that doesn't sit in your solar plexus area, bro, I don't know what does. Because for me, when I hear that, remember your future, I see a vision of my greatest self. Without conditioning. The uncarved block. Okay? Amazing. Let's get it, guys. Let's end it here. Osa. Any questions? Just join the Telegram group, join the Sangha. You already know what it is. Share this with a friend. Flow me. You got this. Upward spiral. Let's go.